If you are not transforming yourself as a parent, you are doing it all wrong. We are meant to evolve. I want to tell you about how parenting courses for ADHD can help you change and be successful for life. It's not about just right now, it really is about transforming who you are. Now, I'm Ivan Hardcastle. I'm a parent coach. I have a history as an occupational therapist. I help families who have teens with ADHD transform their lives, find the peace, find the connection, find the happiness so that you move forward and you grow. I want you to reach out to me and talk to me about what things you are struggling with within yourself and also with your children. So much of the focus gets put onto our children. We think, oh man, my child has ADHD, and what am I going to do? I need this counseling, I need this guidance, I need yada, yada, yada. And we forget to look at ourselves. And that is where most of the challenges actually come from. Because when we transform ourselves, and when we learn and when we know how to interact with our kids and guide them, then things change, then things grow. I want to tell you about three parents that are in my parent coaching program or who have completed it and how they have transformed their lives. And then I want to tell you a little bit about my coaching program and why it makes such a big difference in the families that I work with, okay? So the first one, this mom came to me, and in that first meeting, she just started crying. She says, I've started drinking again. I've started smoking again. I'm just so overwhelmed. I have this test coming up for this certification for my job. I'm just overwhelmed, and my daughter is drawing away from me. There's a disconnect. I don't know what to do. And I talked to her about the program. She jumped into the program. She sacrificed to be able to get in there. It was not an easy thing for her. She is doing so amazing right now. And one of her testimonials is on my website. You can check it out at www.castletwinfalls.com. You can see her words on there. She talks how she didn't know what to expect when she got into the program, but as it went, it wasn't this magical change. It was this step process and evolution. And she is so calm and collected and in charge of her life. She's confident. She knows how to address her ex-spouse when things are rough and he's trying to control, but she has confidence in herself, and that transposes as well into her confidence with her daughter. And they have made connections and they are growing, and her daughter is doing better in school. There's so many things that are happening good in this lady's life. That's number one. Number two is a mom that I've worked with in the past, but then she decided to jump into my parent coaching program. She has a son who's nonverbal, and he expresses himself through body movement. And so he can, when he's frustrated, he can be quite aggressive and not trying to be hurtful. He's just trying to communicate. Well, she becomes very overwhelmed because there's so much going on and so many things placed on her as a parent who has a child with special needs. And she had an instance, there's two instances here, or two themes. One was just the other day, and she yelled really loudly, and he hit her. Not excessively, it didn't hurt her, but it did startle her, and she didn't know what to do, except that she paused, and she actually reached out to me, because when you are in my coaching program, you have access to me directly. You can I have an app on a phone that you download. You can talk directly to me. It's smoother than texting, smoother than messaging, better than a phone call. And she reached out to me, and we started talking through her reaction and his response, her reactivity and his reactivity, and how she can then reconnect. Because the other thing that was happening is that for the first time in her life, she started to recognize that her pattern, her fallback was to yell and to scream. He would react to that and he would shut down as well. But when she started growing in my parent coaching program, understanding herself, being guided how to see herself and how to shift out of those habits of mindset that we just automatically follow, the patterns that continue to be in our way, she became calmer and he became calmer. And things that he wasn't doing before, he started doing. He started helping with chores. He started taking care of himself when he was sick. He didn't need her as much. It's an amazing process. But then she had this blip, and it's just a reminder that we are human and our brains are evolving, and it is easy to, once We do this work to get out of this rut that we're in, and it's easy to shift back down in there, but then it's easier to come back out the next time because we are growing, we are developing new pathways in our brain, new ways of thinking, new habits. And every time that we recognize that and pull ourselves out, we become stronger and better, and we are able to move forward. And that is what parent coaching does. You have support, you have guidance, you have a mentor, you have somebody who has your back and can lift you up. The third parent was a mom with a boy who has ADHD, a teenager, and he is very resistive, very withdrawn, struggling with a lot of things, teenager things, a relationship with a girl that has problematic elements to it, and chores and homework. And she has become so much more aware of how, through generations of parenting, her great grandparents to her grandparents to her parents to her, she's been expected to parent in a certain way, and it's very controlling and it's very demanding, which does not work well with our teens who have ADHD. They respond better to guidance and freedom to allow them to experience, but having somebody right there that guides them, that draws them along. And she is learning how to step away from these patterns of previous parenting and what she thinks is the right answer, but was not working with her son at all, and how to readapt, how to realign her great self to the needs of her teen. And it is changing, and it is beautiful. And that's happening right now. Things can change. You can grow. You can develop. My parent coaching program has 3 steps to it. The first one is to look at you as a parent, who you are. What are the assumptions that you're making about yourself and about your life? What are the habits that you have gotten into? What are the mindset things that you have locked into that are stopping you from growing, unlocking your potential, finding peace within yourself? And then the second step follows naturally. When you have unlocked that and when you have grown yourself, now you can shift your mindset and your approach as a parent. And I teach that parenting mindset of how to understand and see your child. In essence, it's me taking my abilities as a therapist, the skills that I've grown as a therapist, and giving them to you so that you become a therapist for your own child. In other words, you see the details, you see the background reasoning, and rather than just taking it as a he's upset, yeah, something's upsetting. No, actually, there's something going on in his brain. There's something overwhelming. There is a reason behind that, and that is what I give to you. And then the third step is people want at the beginning, but they're not ready for it, is that you are actually making changes. You have strategies that you can actually create yourself, ways to interact with your child that are successful. People want that at the beginning, but without the initial work, without the guidance, without changing who you are, it always fails. And I've seen that happen again and again. When you want clarity, when you want growth, when you want development within yourself, that is when you reach out. Reach out to me, send me a comment, follow the link in my bio. Let's set up a meeting. I want to hear from you, and I want to see how you can grow through parent coaching with me so that you can have the clarity in yourself and in your home. Life can be fantastic, and it can be more wonderful than you can imagine. It's just waiting.